There was once a study to see why a cat always lands on its feet. And the scientist that did this study dropped a cat and he took a video, a motion picture of the cat to capture how it moved its body to land on its feet. And what he discovered was that the cat is able to miraculously do this because it doesn't try to turn its entire body all at one time. Instead, it pivots the front half of itself first to right its front, and then it pivots the back half to right its rear. And in this way, it's able to completely turn itself in midair and land on its feet. And it wouldn't be able to do this if it tried to turn its entire body all at once, because that just wouldn't be possible. And there's a metaphor there, I really believe. If you want to make progress, you have to understand that the key lies in a mixture of action and inaction. To strategically put effort in to one part of an endeavor while also being completely relaxed on the other side. Because if you try to be all things all the time, no one can do that. No one can be 100% at everything. No one can bend the laws of physics. So sometimes you've just got to learn to be at peace with your life and not try so hard. And we tend to believe that if we want success, we have to try really, really hard. We have to put in an enormous amount of effort. And we have to try to be the absolute best possible version of ourselves. And yet, when you look at life, you see there's a lot of people who seem to land on their feet. Then there's other people who always seem to be all turned upside down. So it's not really about being the best. It's about not raging against the laws of physics, the laws of nature, or perhaps the path that the universe has laid out. You want to let the current of the wind work with you, not try to conquer it and work against it. A ship doesn't make progress by trying to force the wind to change its direction. It makes progress by learning how to strategically harness the force of the wind. Life is very easy. It's surprisingly easy. As soon as you realize that it's easy. It's been said that people who believe that life is long and easy tend to be happier and healthier than people who believe it's short and hard. That's because when you are mindful about the way you use your time, you realize you have plenty of it. And when you realize that life doesn't have to be a struggle, suddenly it's not so very hard. None of it's really all that hard. We think it's a extremely hard thing to figure out how to work with others or interact with others, but really all it is you tell people the truth, be straight with them. We think that life's inevitable challenges are insurmountable, but the truth is we're resilient. It's not hard, really, to go through hard times, because when you face hard times, you do what you need to do. In the moment, you always have the strength to do what you need to do. It's not even hard to die at the end of your life, really, because it just is what it is. You live until the time when you don't anymore. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your life for the entire experience. It's easy to have peace. You just have to accept that you're willing to have peace. It's easy to have routines and healthy habits. All you have to do is choose them. Life isn't hard. We make it hard because we think that we have to somehow figure out where to find these epic, godlike powers that are going to transform us into superhuman heroes of action and heroism. And all we really have to do is just stop overcomplicating life. Focus on one thing at a time. Leave room for patience and be proactive, but not frenzied and frantic about everything all the time. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to disconnect. It's okay to not know something. It's okay to let your life be easy. Because if you take it easy, then you have more to give when you need to give that extra effort. Imagine if you were going to run a race. If you give 100% at the beginning, you're always giving every single bit you've got to give. Then you get worn out early. But if you just kind of take it easy, then you're able to give consistently throughout the entire course of the race. And then you have something in reserve so that when you need to give it just a little bit of extra energy, you have enough of a reserve that you can give extra quite easily when the moment is most demanding it of you. I think we go quite wrong in life when we think that we're supposed to always take the hardest path, always push ourselves, always challenge ourselves to be more, because we're told that that's the key to success, to always be on the treadmill of life, always grinding and chasing and pursuing and frantically trying to reach the definition of success. And it always stays out of our reach. And a lot of people think that it's luck that makes some people's life seem effortless and other people's lives seem to be a never-ending toil. But it's often not luck, it's more technique, it's understanding that many times less is more. And when you make peace with your life the way it is, that often is the best way to open the door to it growing into something more than you perhaps would have ever imagined it could be. So, do one thing at a time successfully. Make that your mantra, one successfully executed task at a time. It doesn't have to be a complicated one, it can be a simple one. Sometimes it's just to get some rest. Maybe it's to read a chapter in your favorite book. Maybe it's to take a few minutes and make a YouTube video. Maybe it's to get up a few minutes early so that you can go for a walk in the morning or have some quiet time to yourself. I don't know. Just one small thing. Set off to do it and do it well. Don't expect that you need to settle all the issues in your life, all of the unknowns. Just take one thing at a time and do it. And divide it all into small, bite-sized things that aren't difficult. Just a lot of little easy things. And then simplify your life by having fewer things. And then you have a lot more energy to give to the things that remain. Look for a way to have an easier life. Not because you're lazy, but because it just doesn't make sense to waste energy if you can achieve blessings more simply and with less struggle. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.